Right.
Welcome to Blue Tinted Glasses, the home of Leicester City talk on YouTube. Fan debates, live watch-alongs, post-match reactions, and all the Foxes banter you could ask for. Subscribe now and see the game through Blue Tinted Glasses.
Well then, Mahrez has made something of that. It's Mahrez! 2-0 to Leicester City! Next to him, Anthony Canoca finds Wood. Wood should score! Wood finds Canoca! Yes! Here comes Leicester again with Heskey and Ibbett! Well, this is incredible. Got Jamie Vardy with him. Jamie Vardy sets off. Jamie Vardy!
Blue Tinted Glasses, the home of Leicester City talk on YouTube.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to Blue Tinted Glasses for Good Morning Foxes. I don't even want to call it a good morning because there's no Leicester City action this weekend, which is kind of annoying. But yeah, at least we can, we're still on a high from last weekend's game and deadline day as well. Before we get into it, everybody, make sure to hit the like button, make sure to hit subscribe as well, and make sure to get your comments in throughout the stream. No, it wasn't a rough night for me this week. I'm absolutely fine today. So yeah, all good. Manny, what's going on, mate? How's things with you?
Bored. Incredibly bored.
Yeah.
No football. I hate this third week into the season. They always put this break. I find it the most pointless international break in history. What are you going to learn this far out? It's just an excuse for players to get injured. They've just got into a rhythm in their clubs. The fans have got back into it. And I'm scratching around trying to find other sports. And I know you don't like it, but thankfully the NFL started. But without that, my weekend would be... I'd have to do chores and hobbies and actually help the wife out and do some work. Can't be doing that.
I went for a walk around Costco yesterday, which was a bit of fun to fill my Saturday.
Did you get a pizza at the end of it?
No, I don't do that. No, I don't do pizzas these days, mate. I don't do pizzas these days. But I did try. My favourite part of Costco is all the tasters they give out. Going around, there's a bit of pan of chocolate there. They've got a bit of steak there. Just having a little nibble as you go around the shop. Banging. With I'm like fully knowing I'm not going to buy any of this stuff. Although I did buy once a tuna salad that I tried there, which was pretty nice.
This is getting incredibly boring very quickly. How did you get? how did you get?
No, am I in the wrong chat? What's going on?
How did you get membership though?
What do you mean?
Costco membership.
What do you mean?
You shouldn't be able to get one.
Why?
Well, not just because you're riffraff, more because you're supposed to be. Aren't you supposed to run a business or something to have a membership at Costco?
No.
You can actually, yeah, it's true, but you can actually get a membership at Costco if you work in the NHS. And my girlfriend works in the NHS, so there we go.
Ban him.
There we go.
Quickly. All he's doing is taking your freebies.
Kate, what's going on with you? Has your weekend been as boring as mine and Manny?
Right, I've been on holiday for the last few days, and then I got back on Friday because I had a work night out, and I got in at 3:00 on Saturday morning, which I'm not built for anymore. I'm not sure I was built for it anyway, so I'm still suffering from that a bit actually. So yeah, I'm glad this wasn't this time yesterday. I said I've looked like you last week, to be honest.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
After a week in the sun, you look more like me. I'm going to have to put these on when I look at you from now on. Huh? Look at that.
I love that. Wow. So yeah, I feel a bit rested, but also a bit jaded from my night out. But yeah, all good. And then yesterday, I just chilled out a bit, really.
Yeah, good stuff. Jack, what's going on with you, mate? You've not had an away game or a home game to go to this weekend, mate. You've not had any food reviews. You should get yourself down Costco, mate. Do a food review. They've got a new thing on the menu. I saw a Californian roll, which I think is a sushi type thing. Yeah, a sushi thing. Jack, get yourself down there, mate.
I went Costco with the missus yesterday.
Oh my God.
I didn't see you.
This is what happens when there's no football.
There's about 1,000 people in there when you go in on a Saturday, so it's no good. You're pushing into each other's legs with a big, massive trolleys that they give you and everything.
Well, what time did you go at, Jack? What time did you go at?
Probably about 10:30.
Oh, really? I was there then as well. I didn't see you. Did you see me?
No, I didn't see you.
No?
He did. He
It
just
looked like you. I just walked past. I'm joking. But no,
Yeah.
everything's good. Yeah, the new goalkeeper Viates has come into the football club, and yeah, there might be a few more free agents. Obviously, we've got 3 more slots now to fill regarding that, so it's gonna be interesting to see who's actually training with Leicester.
Yeah, well, you mentioned something there, which we'll get straight into. Leicester City dropping a bombshell. Well, I say a bombshell, but you know what I mean. They dropped a tweet yesterday announcing the signing of a new goalkeeper, free agent. Sorry, say his name again, Jack, because I can't remember what his name is, mate.
Francesco Viates.
There we go. There you go. Here was the little video that the club put out just after he signed. I will warn you, just while we're on the topic of boring, it bored me to death, but I'll play it anyway. Here it is.
It will be a good year, full of work, full of wins, and I hope we all enjoy it.
It's the international break now, but how much are you excited to meet the squad of players here at Leicester?
I cannot wait no longer. It's a weekend off, and I just want Monday to come and start training, meeting my teammates, meeting the coach, and do my work.
And what's your message to the Leicester?
Yeah, lots of personality there from the lad. Try and wake up, Kate.
And this is a bit the way he
sounds like
speaks.
Steve McLaren's been training him now to talk.
Yeah.
It looks like a hit. It looks like a cartel hitman.
What do you make to this signing then, Manny? Because I know a few of us, like during the window, because we kept getting linked with goalkeepers, especially towards the end of the window, and I think some of us were like, "Why? What we do it? Why do we need a goalkeeper?" Because we've got obviously Stolarczyk, we've got Begovic who we signed, and we've also got Stevie Bowser.
We've got the bad guy from the from all the Mario games. Yeah, full of fire but dangerous.
We were linked with that goalkeeper from, I can't remember where he was from, which would have involved a loan or a transfer fee, and then that deal fell through towards the end of the window. But we've got a free agent, mate. Do you just expect this to just be back up? Because, you know, I don't know, it's Begovic we've discussed quite a bit, saying maybe he's a player coach, maybe, a goalkeeper coach. But mate, do you think this guy's just going to be back up to Stolarczyk? What do you think?
Just a body in the room. It's a body in the room. It's a third choice keeper. We don't expect him to have many minutes at all. You're just going to fill in a hole. You're there to help training. Goalkeepers train together usually, so to get a little fraternity of those. He's a Spanish speaker, but clearly speaks English very, very well. So now we've got him and Julian together. So that's another thing. But I think the most important thing, do you remember our old third choice keeper, Alex Smithies, wasn't it? Do you remember we were paying him £35,000 a week for our third choice keeper? That is the kind of brain dead contract that gets you in PSR trouble. So I think this guy's on like $2,000 to $3,000 a week. He's 6'5".
Be on more than that.
No, apparently it's not much. Apparently it's like that. Maybe he'll be on.
Where's he come from? What was his last team? Betis.
B.
If he's come from
B.
Oh, Betis B. He didn't.
Betis B,
No, he played in the
Celta Vigo
Conference
B.
League last season. Played in the Conference League. He
Did
played
he?
7 times in the Conference League last season.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't imagine we're paying him $35,000 a week, though, do you?
Well, no, maybe 20,
So-
10. Yeah.
No, it won't be 20. I don't think it'll even be 10, to be honest. But anyway, just to get the body in the room and know that we haven't wasted money on some mad signing or bought some crazy goalkeeper out of nowhere, that kind of reassures me again that we're learning from previous mistakes.
Yeah. Kate, what do you make to this one? Although it just reminded me that Manny mentioned Alex Smithies, because it's a bit like Begovic. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if any of these goalkeepers just never ever played a game for Leicester ever. And with Alex Smithies, I still think it was an absolute robbery that they took that player of the season away from him in the year we got relegated, because everybody I know, so many people voted for Alex Smithies to be player of the season. And they went and gave it to, like, Dewsbury Hall or something like that. And it's like, God, that's a fix. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we didn't pay to vote, but if we did, that would have been fraud. But, yeah, go on. Talk to me about the goalkeeper signing, because it surprised me, but, yeah.
Yeah, it surprised me as well. I think it's a little bit wasteful, but that just indicates that are we paying Begovic more of a coaching role like Schwarzer had in that role a few years ago? So has he come in to be the senior squad member for the GK Union, and this guy's going to come in as third choice? It's a bit of a left field, but hey, we tried something different, like Manny said. I think we're not paid anything for him. He seems to have played at a decent level. So we'll see what happens. Maybe we're planning for a European push next year or something. Who knows?
Tinky says Begovic was brought in for experience standards for squad. It makes me laugh actually the standards part here, because I know somebody who's a QPR fan, and he told me that last year at QPR, Begovic was selling loads of training kit on eBay as a little side hustle. So he was getting QPR training wear and selling it on eBay, which made me laugh a little bit.
But he was inundated.
Yeah. But yeah, Jack, what about you, mate? Obviously, you've done, I don't know how much research you've done. You've done a little bit, because I know you did a stream about it as well yesterday. But yeah, what do you make to this signing, mate?
I sort of found it odd with Begovic when he didn't play against Huddersfield in the Cup. So I was thinking Stolaric's going to get sort of game time onto the bench type thing, and then Begovic will play. But then Begovic never played, Stolaric did. So you got sort of thinking to yourself, Begovic wasn't Marty's signing, so Marty's like, did I really want Begovic? I don't know. It's sort of side sort of thing, in it, where you look at Conor Cody under Enzo. He sort of got lined up before the new manager came in. So I'm sort of of the understanding that Begovic is going to be a number 3. He'll be the man who's going to do the coaching role of whatever he's brought in to do his experience and help push the keepers. But I think Viatez is a good shot stopper, good distribution. I watched his video yesterday, and I believe this guy's going to go far. I don't, because I don't know anything about him. So no. Yeah, I think he's one to really push Jack up, to be fair. But I think he's more for the 2. So I think that's sort of helps, isn't it? With Jacob, he's got that sort of mentality of, I've got a 38-year-old goalkeeper behind me. He's not going to overtake me. Well, could sort of bring somebody in who will then. So, I think that's why we've sort of done it. But a free agent, it's a non-risk. So, it's quite all right.
There's a comment here from Mark who says he likes the lineup of Carranza, Fatawu, Monga and Ramsey. You're forgetting to play a little bit deeper.
He's comparing his front.
There we've got.
It's like
Chicken and Madge Ramsey right there.
Who's that? I don't know who that is.
Shit is what he's being.
I want to talk a little bit just about a couple of the other signings as well, because we've got 2 that are in training, although there's no training this weekend. I think they're on a break. Marty's given them the weekend off, which is why Caleb Okoli was in the Maldives on Friday. Very nice. But I think he's back on. Well, it looked like the Maldives.
It wasn't the Maldives, all right.
It looked like it.
You see a beach. Look at you. You see a beach and an umbrella. You're like Maldives. There are more.
No. I didn't say the Maldives. Somebody else said the Maldives, so I just thought they were right.
A weekend trip to the Maldives is a way to get rid of sleep at a really rapid rate.
Yes,
what?
That is true. Maybe not the Maldives. Turkey. He's in Turkey. Let's just say that. He's in Turkey.
The Turkish Maldives could be.
Yeah. And then Ramsey's obviously has been in training, so is Carranza. Jordan James is with Wales. So he played 20 minutes on Thursday or Wednesday, and then he's got a game on Tuesday as well, and then he's back. I did get sent a funny photo this morning on WhatsApp. Manny would have seen it. Because of my love for Jordan James and my other love for a certain blonde actress, somebody's done some Photoshop work here and created this monstrosity. Yes, that is Jordan James on Sydney Sweeney's body. This is. I mean, look at this. This is my perfect human right here. But yeah.
It's a new low.
Anyway, so yeah, I've got a couple more clips here. This one was about Jordan James.
But no. I've always thought highly of Leicester. It's weird, me and my dad have always said I would suit a club like Leicester. Whenever I've played against them, I just like the way they play.
So there was that clip from Jordan, and then another one here just describing what type of midfielder he is.
How would you describe yourself as a midfielder?
I would say, in one word, probably everything, in the sense of the whole game. I can go forward. Probably a number 8, so I'm able to do both sides of the game. I'm aggressive, I'll be able to score goals, arrive late in the box, but I can also do the do the hard work as well. So in that sense, it's hard to obviously pick one out, but I would probably say just a combative 8.
So, Manny, I'll come to you first, mate. Just hearing that there, it sounds promising. I mean, he speaks well, although so did Ruud van Nistelrooy, and at times. But what do you make to that, mate? He describes himself as a combative 8, someone who can do everything in midfield, in terms of offering, different parts of, defensively attacking. So, yeah, you happy with this one?
Yeah, absolutely. He's got a bit of edge about him, hasn't he? He's got a bit of confidence, a bit of cockiness, a hint of arrogance. He knows how good he is. You like hearing that. You like seeing that. We need a bit of that and a bit of bite as well in his personality. In terms of the right 8, well, specifically the right 8, I think we did Wednesday night. We did our what formations would we like to see and things like that. And if we did want to go back to Enzo ball, if you do play 8s like Enzo did, then you need them to be able to do everything. They've got to get.
What is it with you and Luke, man, and Enzo ball? Can't just relax, man. Move on. I'm
saying no. It gives you flexibility, is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
if you want to play that way, if you want to make a change every now and then, you can switch to it. Whether it be mid-game or during training, you can re-practice it. It's good to have many strings to your bow. I know that's something that you struggle with, but it's good for a football manager to do that. So, if we did want to have the 8s, remember Wolf used to do it last time. Getting on the touchline, linking up with Abdul, but getting back to defend. And on the other side, obviously, KDH, what an engine. This guy looks like he could fit the role on one of those sides, particularly the right-hand side. Get forward, get back, do a bit of everything, chip in with a goal. And I think if we can mould Louis Page to do the same on the left-hand side of the 8, then we've got more options should he want to go down that route one day.
Yeah, maybe Louis Page linking up with a player he's played with for a while now, Jeremy Monga, and Jordan James forming something with Abdul on the right-hand side.
I mean, imagine Jordan James and Abdul working as a little unit down the right-hand side. How is this league going to cope?
Yeah, I hear you. Kate, over to you. Jordan James, I mean, like you're aware, I've been doing a lot of glazing. I've been sending you videos as well. I don't know if you ended up watching it.
I did, yeah.
Kate was like, just leave me alone. I was sending her videos of Jordan James whilst she was on holiday in Mallorca. But yeah, how do you feel about this signing?
Yeah, I'm quite excited. Like Manny, I feel like there's a bit of grit in him. His personality, well, for starters, he can speak without using the orthodox terms of what we usually see players talk about when they've been over media trained. He seems to speak from his heart and from his own brain, which is quite refreshing. And I feel like he has got some bite in him. It's interesting to say that him and his dad have always thought Leicester would be a good fit. Be interested to know exactly why that is. But yeah, I feel like he's a kind of guy that will cover every blade of grass. He'll be everywhere. He'll be box to box. And on that highlight reel that you sent to me, like his distribution and ability to spray passes looked really exciting, because aside from Yannick, I don't think we really have anybody that can properly do that from higher up the pitch. So it's going to be quite exciting. He's going to have quite a lot of energy. He's got a good age. So yeah, I'm excited. It's nice to see someone coming through that I feel like is really motivated for us in the middle, because that middle has lacked a lot of grit and motivation for quite some time.
Yeah, one thing that did make me laugh on that interview, which was just after one of those clips, he said about the fans. He said, "I love the Leicester fans. They always get behind the players." I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I did hear that.
So someone might want to tell him. No, Jack, over to
That's
you.
psychology, that is.
Yeah, it is. But no, over to you, Jack, because again, like all you can go off other than data, I suppose, when you're looking at players is their highlights reel and kind of what they're saying in interviews and stuff. But for now, mate, it does seem like a very, very good sign. And he was great for Birmingham. The only reason that he went for as cheap as, I think it was 6 or 9 million that Birmingham sold him for, is because they were in desperate need of cash at that point. It was just before they got the investors in. They would have loved him back, I'm sure. So would Rex. I mean, Wrexham were all over him, trying to sign him, but obviously we've got him in. So how are you feeling about this one, mate?
Yeah, I think he's the signing of the summer for Leicester. Good, still young. He can do the attacking side of the game. He can do the middle pivot, and he can also defend, which is good. Marty wants players who have got good mentality, who are going to work for him and give everything for this football club. And that's what I like about Marty a lot. That he doesn't care how good you are. it's about the mentality that matters. And if you're going to give 100%, if you're not, you sit on the bench. If you are, fantastic. You're my man. So that's where I sort of look at Harry Winks. It puts pressure on him now that Jordan James is coming, because you've got Skip, you've got Samare who have upped the game in recent games. So, yeah, Harry Winks is going to be looking over his shoulder a bit, thinking, yeah, I sort of need to change my mentality. If I don't, then I'm not going to be seeing a Leicester shirt again, which is good to see the competition within the midfielders, and everyone offers a bit more different. Obviously, Skip, he offers a different hairline to Samari.
Wow.
Out of absolutely nowhere, that.
Wow.
To be fair to him, in midfield, we have lacked leaders, haven't we, for a while? Like, especially with Wolf going, we need somebody who's going to try and take hold of that position in the middle of the park. And sometimes, the players were on it last time, but how many times are we powder puff in our approach in midfield? And we lack a bit of bite, a bit of steel, a bit of know-how, a bit of leadership. And I think it might have been you that said this to me, Locks, that he strikes me as sort of potential captain material should we get him on a permanent down the line. He's got the right mentality, he's got the right attitude. I don't think the fans are going to have any problem with this lad. The fans ask you to give it your all, and as long as you've got a little bit of quality, they won't ever get on your back. And this boy's got more than a little bit of quality, and he's got all the other attributes as well as that too. So very, very exciting. I think we're all just can't wait to see him play. And it's a shame he didn't start for Wales the other day.
Yeah, well, let's see how he does. Let's see if he plays on Tuesday. Although I think the likelihood is, because obviously we won the last game against Birmingham, Kate, and then you've got Jordan James, who's away with Wales right now. I've got a feeling he probably won't play for Leicester next weekend, or he won't start, should I say, because I think he'll only get a couple of training sessions in. And Skip and Samare did play well in the last game, so I think Marty might start James off on the bench against Oxford.
Thought so. I'd have thought so anyway, really, because that just tends to be how it goes with these things, doesn't it? He needs to find his feet a bit, and I don't know when he'll come back from international break, but yeah, he'll only have a couple of sessions at tops, and maybe he's spoken to Marty about what Marty wants from him and where he's going to fit. But I would imagine that within a couple of 3 games, we'll likely be seeing him for the majority of matches, I think. But it's between Skip and Samare and Winks, really, like Jack just said, about who's going to have to give way to make room for this guy, and we want to see what he's about. Because the thing with loans as well is that you have to play them. It's just a pointless exercise. We've had this with Edouard last season. Like, you have to play loan players. So he will be playing because he's on loan, and we want to see what he's about if we want to put in a permanent offer for him. So he will be playing considerably because we've only got him for 40 games at the moment. So it'll be an interesting period, but it's a Marty signing, and these managers often favour their own choices, so I expect him to start to eclipse someone in the midfield in terms of appearances soon enough.
And obviously Marty was manager of QPR in that season we got promoted, and he would have seen a lot of Jordan James that season. And he was. I mean, Jordan James that year was being spoken about a lot. He had a really good season, and it just didn't really work out for him over in Rennes in France. So hopefully he can kind of get back to some form with this. I think in the long run, all 3 start for us. But yeah, we'll wait and see. There's just a couple more clips here. So this one's from Carranza when
Jordan. He scored, didn't he, in that 3-2 win at Birmingham?
He scored twice.
Scored twice. Yeah, that was a great game. Yeah, he was a great game to watch. I remember him quite well, actually.
And he was all over he was everywhere. He was everywhere in that game. So yeah, here's the video of Julian, or Julian, although he says Julian in this video to dumb it down for the Leicester fans, as Manny said. So here he is.
Hey Leicester fans, it's Julian here. Super excited to be here, and I cannot wait to meet you all.
And then there's one more as well from Aaron Ramsey as well.
Hi guys, Aaron Ramsey here. Just signed for Leicester. Can't wait to get started. Can't wait to meet you supporters.
There we go. There's 2. They did a big video. They did a big interview for Carranza, and they did a big video interview for Jordan James, but they didn't do one for Ramsey, unfortunately. But yeah. Anyway. So yeah, I don't know. Let me just get your thoughts quickly, Jack. What do you think it'll be the 2 that? Because obviously Carranza and Ramsey have been training with the squad since last week. Do you think those two are more likely to start?
Yeah, because I've worked with the squad. They'll know what Marty wants from them and how they fit the system well. So, yeah, Aaron Ramsey is obviously still coming back from that 18-month injury, isn't he? So it's obviously he needs to get up to speed quite quickly with the amount of game time. Burnley fans say he's a good player, you know. That's why they brought him. But they didn't really see much of him due to the injury. But Carranza is a bit like a Vardy, an Argentinian Vardy. He likes to be a nuisance. He likes to step on defenders' toes. He likes to get in the faces and that. He likes to sit on the shoulder. He's probably not got as much pace as Vardy, but you know, he can score goals. Obviously, it hasn't really worked out for him at Feyenoord as well as he'd like. I think he scored like 5 goals there. But in the MLS, I think he scored quite a bit. But MLS football compared to the Championship, English football is a lot more different. So, yeah, let's see if he can step up. And obviously, we need a striker this season who can step up and score goals. Obviously, at the minute, everyone else is scoring goals apart from Ayew and Daka.
Yeah, this is a good question from Planet Earth, which I'll just go around and ask you all. Which of the three, I mean, I know we don't know too much, right, because we haven't seen them play yet for Leicester, but which one of the three will be better equipped for the Premier League should we get there? It's a difficult question to ask. It's maybe an unfair question to answer this early, but, I mean, you know what I'm going to say, so I'll hand it over to Manny.
Oh, I mean, look, all of us agree that on paper, from what we've seen, particularly since we remember the game where Jordan James had a brilliant game against us directly. You know, we haven't seen Ramsey for a long time. He's been out with double injuries, 18 months. We don't know what quite the player that he is at the moment. Carranza, none of us have a Scooby-Doo. None of us have ever seen him play, so it's hard to try and gauge how good they would be. Ask me after a game or two, and I'll give you a more accurate answer. But based on what we've seen, naturally, we expect a 21-year-old JJ to be able to, you know, with his range of skills that he has, like he did say, he has got a bit of everything. He can pass, he can shoot, he can tackle. He's got a little bit of pace, got a high work rate. With all those things, you'd think that he should be an established Premier League player, well, hopefully in a year or two, and 1 year exactly. But let's see the others first. I don't want to get too carried away and say that, you know, they're amazing until I've actually seen them with my own eyes.
Yeah, what about you, Kate? Because I think with Ramsey, I think I actually said this on a stream the other day, I think Ramsey might even have the highest ceiling out of all three because he was such a highly rated youngster. And I was watching a video the other day, actually, about a Villa fan who was watching him in the academy for Villa, and he was like just amazed by how good he was. And, you know, over the last 2 years, he really has struggled with those injuries, but I still think, Kate, that he has a really, really high ceiling. I mean, you look at his brother. His brother's a great player as well. But yeah, talk to me, Kate. If you had to say out of the three, which one are you more confident about of being a success?
Well, JJ's obviously there, isn't he? Because he's got a decent pedigree and he's not had some real career-threatening injuries. So he looks the more likely. He moves a bit like Declan Rice a bit for me as well, to be honest. So you could see him emerge as that kind of dominant role in the middle for sure. Carranza, I've watched his highlight reel this morning, actually, before I came on, and he's both comfortably both feet. I mean, that could be electric if we could get him firing for sure. Like some of the goals that he's scored are just proper poacher goals, and we've not had that for so long, where someone just arrives late, you know, taps it in, or where you look at them and they're not there, but as soon as you make the pass, they just appear. Like some of his offloading's great. Like I've seen some of his chest downs to some of the assists that he's done. Like he seems to be a real feisty one, and we could finally have a bit of a fox in the box back, really. But so it's going to be difficult to decide between those two, because for Carranza it's all going to be about his goals, whereas it's not quite as straightforward with a midfielder, because if he doesn't score, you know, we've potentially got another Daka on our hands. But with JJ, he seems to have more of a range of skills, which hopefully he'll be able to tap into and prove why he should be a Premier League player for us. And that's obviously his motivation, that's his drive, that's his ambition to play and be a regular player in the Premier League. So hopefully he's the one. Both of them have potential high ceilings. Ramsey, just don't know how these injuries are going to go, not necessarily just physically, but, you know, I saw in the last game with Fatu, like after he'd scored, he really hung back I felt like he thought, my job's done. The monkey's off my back today. I can just chill out and make sure I don't get injured. So the mentality side of coming back from that type of injury, that's always quite difficult to overcome as well, which we've seen with JJ, we've seen with Ricardo. You know, they've both had very different journeys considering the same injury that they had. So the mental approach to it's massive, and some people just don't have it. So it's exciting. We've got 3 very exciting signings out of nowhere on the last day of the deadline. So it's good to have something different to talk about, to be honest.
Well, I was going to say, this is a thing, Jack. I was just going to say very quickly, Manny, this is what I was going to say, Jack, right, is that when Begovic was signed, there were a lot of, I was a bit like, ugh, yeah, whatever, like... And a lot of people were like, no, it's a smart signing. He's an experienced figure. The same stuff they said about Cody, basically. But but with these 3 on deadline day, Jack, I'm excited for all 3. I'm excited for all 3 of them to see what they bring. And I think although we knew the squad was very good, prior to deadline day, after seeing the first few games, despite some of the performances being a bit shaky, we knew the squad was there. These 3 players coming in that all 4 of us believe are very close, if not already at first team level. That only helps everyone. It helps the fans for getting excited. It helps the manager because he's got 3 new quality players, and it helps the squad because you've got that new competition, fresh faces. Fresh faces are very, very important in football. Brendan Rodgers, although he was a fucking idiot, he was right when he said, this squad needs fresh faces. It needs fresh blood. He was right, although the way he went about it was horrific. And I think it's really, really important, and it's only a positive now, Jack, that we've got these 3 fresh new faces in.
Yeah, it's good. Out with the old and in with the new, I'd say, at Leicester City. And obviously this is what we've been doing this transfer window, getting rid of players that we don't want. We've got some good money for McAteer, James Justin, Wilfred Ndidi, Connor Cody for £2 million, which is fantastic money in this day and age with how he goes about his stuff. But no, Leicester have been sensible in the business that they've done in the transfer window just gone. Carranza, we needed a striker, someone who can score goals. We've obviously looked at him quite a bit in detail. Jordan James, we know what he can offer in the Championship, and I think he could really step up to the Premier League if we get there. Aaron Ramsey, obviously brother of Jacob Ramsey, who's now at Newcastle. Good centre attacking midfielder. He's another one that works hard. But I think we start to judge him if he can recover from obviously this long-term injury that he had, which is good. To sort of say, yeah, let's sort of get this bed you in type of a lot more. You have come back from something more, obviously, with the injury record, which... Yeah, I just think this is good with Cifuentes, to be fair. He's got options. Yeah. He's got players in that really fit the system. He needed players who really fit the and modified the positions that he did need. So, yeah, I'm quite happy with them. I think the goalkeeper one is just, number 2. He's not really going to play much apart from probably the FA Cup in January. So, yeah, it's good that we've got real competition, and it puts these players now on the back burner, doesn't it? The Harry Winkses and everyone else in the squad. It puts them on alert to say, I've got to up my game. If I don't, these lads are going to replace me.
Go on, Manny.
Well, I was going to a couple of things.
Keep it going. I just need to quickly get some at the door,
That's
but I'll
right.
be 2 minutes.
I think the good thing that we have to remember when we sign these 3 is that Marty's clearly had his influence on the signings. And we spoke a while ago that since the days of Puel, we've been a possession-based team. We've always liked to hold the ball. We've always liked to keep the ball. We've never been one for really high-intensity pressing, high graft, try and win the ball aggressively. And all 3 of the new signings that we've taken, on deadline day, they all appear to be exactly that. Very high press, very high work rate, high energy. They can last for 90-plus minutes. And that's what we didn't really have in the squad. We kept saying, how are we going to get these players to start working hard? They're not. Harry Winks is not somebody who's going to be chasing midfielders down, harrying them, trying to win the ball. But Marty's system requires everybody to be able to chase in packs and as a unit. So I think this is the first wave, of a manager putting his own spin on the squad, saying, look, any player that we sign have to have these certain characteristics that I look for in all of my players. But whilst that is a positive, there's always a balance to everything, and when you're trying to do your risk analysis and think about the potential negatives, the question still burns my brain. Burnley are in a relegation battle. I know Aaron Ramsey's coming back from injury, but why did they let him go on loan?
Well, a lot of them were actually upset. I did see a lot of Burnley fans saying, why have we let him go? Like, he can bring some... didn't he play... Jack might know. Didn't he play in the Cup and score? Didn't he score in the Cup this season already?
Yeah, why have they let him go on loan? Didn't they pay £16 million for him?
Well, he's had a lot of injuries, mate.
Like,
he's had a lot of injuries.
But they must watch him in training and say, look, he's had a lot of injuries, but this is the kind of guy we need him back for the Premier League campaign, particularly in the Premier League, when if it's not working, you need other options. So it does concern me that, look, the cynic in me always thinks player comes back from injury, club are happy to offload him. They've seen something that they're not quite comfortable with. And maybe it's just, we're not sure. Let him spend a season there, get game time, build his confidence and the rest of it. Maybe that's the case.
Well, he is the only one of the three that don't have an option to buy. So they've outright refused putting an option
excellent
in.
point. That's a very good
have
point.
a theory.
Go on.
Use facilities to recuperate him properly.
Oh, I like that. Oh, yeah, very good. That's not bad.
It makes sense.
Abdul's come back strong. I mean, I think
we've got Abdul, JJ, Ricky P. Ricky P is always going to be. He's going to be, injured a lot, isn't he? But they've all come back successfully from those injuries.
I was saying to Luke the other day, I've seen a lot of players who have ACLs over the years, quite a few in the 90s as well. I've never seen a player come back as strongly as Abdul has come back from it. It might be the youth, it might be his physicality, it might be he's absolutely ripped and has got an Adonis of a body. But still, I think those facilities that we have, and actually, I mean, we used to have that debate, didn't we? Why did we spend money on Seagrave? Here's another reason. Not only the kids, but the medical facilities will definitely be having a positive impact.
But it's a trodden path for us, unfortunately. We've had players with these horror injuries before in really recent years. The last 5 years, JJ and Ricardo, the horror look of them both together, and Fofana,
Alves and Braybrook.
You know what I mean? We've got experience. Maybe we're like the football's NHS, and they can just send their players to us, and we'll recuperate them. But we have got a lot of experience, and Ramsey's hopefully just going to get better and better for us. But they won't want to risk him during a relegation battle. That's the thing. I think that's probably in answer to Manny's point.
Some of those players have landed on their feet, though. Huh? I mean, you, with all due respect to Burnley, I don't think their training ground is Seagrave. Suddenly, you come into this new age spaceport centre with the latest facilities. You're like,
play a bit of golf.
This place is pretty. I could have a kip anytime I want.
That's where Coley was, by the way. He wasn't in the Maldives. It was just out the back at Seagrave.
Did you know they do that, by the way? Did you know they do have naps when they come in for their double session days? They
each have a hotel, but so they should. Yeah, they should.
Yeah, you should. It helps recovery massively.
The same, like sprinters and stuff are the same. You do morning and afternoon stuff, and you have the nap.
Same here. Whether you're ill or if you've got a hangover, or even at our stage.
Exactly. I'm in the wrong job.
I don't nap. I don't do naps. It makes me feel worse. I mean, I was telling Kate this the other week.
Yeah, but we discussed this, Locks, because you said, 3 hours sleep. A 3 hours sleep is a sleep, not a nap. A nap is about 45 minutes, absolute tops.
Yeah, but I can't do 45 minutes. If I do 45, it has to be 2 hours minimum. Like, I don't want to wake up.
Sometimes people don't like 45-minute naps because it can take them 15, 20 minutes, half an hour to fall asleep. But I found a solution to that. Just stick on LFTV and boom, you're out like a light.
So mean.
Oh man. Hey, anyway, right. Let me bring. You mentioned, Manny. Sorry, that Fatawu's come back with the body of an Adonis, but does he quite have the body of Jordan James? I don't think he does. No. Jordan James is much. Yeah, there you go. Right. Well,
Locks is literally saved that as his wallpaper now, haven't you?
No, although I'm going to. I might put it up here. Actually.
Like January, February.
Yeah. Literally. I wonder if I can get a Jordan James on Sydney Sweeney's body calendar. That'd be good.
I'm sure someone in the chat will provide it for you.
I really hope he's not watching this.
Yeah, he wants to get a flavour of the fans.
Welcome to Leicester.
Talking about.
We have a different vibe here at Leicester. We do things slightly differently to other fans. We like to put your head on models of women.
Yes, definitely.
Is the Welsh thing also what's making you have big love for him, Locks?
No, it's not. It's not.
Locks
It's
hates
not at
Wales.
all.
He's anti-Wales. He's got more hatred in Wales than he has for any other country on earth, he said.
Well, it's not quite true. That's not quite true. But yeah. Yeah, there we go. I mean, look, we've got the international break, obviously, and we're only a few weeks into the season. Jack, how would you sum up the start, mate? Because, you know, we the performances haven't been great, but we've got 9 points, which means that if we got a point deduction tomorrow, which is rumoured to be 9 points, then we're at 0 points, and we're level with Sheffield United, and is it 3 points? Yeah, we'd be 3 points below Ipswich. But what I would say as well, by the way, I just read online, apparently Ruben Sellers is under pressure, obviously, and they would consider Danny Roll if they sacked Ruben Sellers, which is interesting that these conversations are already happening. But yeah, talk to me, Jack, mate, because it's been a good start, really, hasn't it? And with 3 new players coming in as well, I think we're looking good for the season.
Yeah, it's been a good start by Leicester. You know, I'd have loved 4 out of 4 wins, but, you know, you can't grumble. I think 9 points. We're in the top 6, aren't we? Is where we'd obviously like to be by the end of the season. So, yeah, I think the first few games was about really getting Marty's style across and how he wants to sort of go about things. Obviously, a transfer window has been a bit of unsettlement within the squad, but now that's closed. You know, it's good to see that he can work on a few things and he knows the players that are going to be here and obviously the players that have left. So, yeah, it's a standpoint in the right direction for him, I feel. And I think we're only on the up, to be fair, under this manager. He speaks well. His tactics and everything's spot on so far. And he hasn't put a foot wrong. So now we look to Oxford for next weekend and hopefully another win for Marty's Blues.
Yeah. For me, Manny, the most encouraging signs haven't even been the manager or just the team performance. It's actually been that we are seeing fights from some of these players. I think good job with regards to a couple of the players he's kind of frozen. I say frozen out. They have featured, but Winks and Fast, for example, they're not starting games because they've made it pretty clear they don't want to be here. He's picking players that are wanting to fight, I think, and that have that determination. And I think it's showing, especially in the Charlton game and the Birmingham game, where they were 2 really hard-fought wins, you know, in the last 20 minutes, where the other team was on top, to be honest. They were on top, and we've held out, putting in a fighting performance and got the 3 points.
It's not just the team as overall, because you expect quite a few of the players, you know, they would always work. You know, you're not going to have question marks over a lot of the players. But the point that I do like, the first point, did you remember when Eddie Howe took over Newcastle and you suddenly got Joe Linton working in midfield like a dog and being a brilliant player? He was improving the players that we had there and also changing what we thought was the scope of what they were capable of doing. I remember, sorry to harp on about my beloved Enzo again, but remember how he converted Wilf into an 8? What I'm saying is you can take a player and you think they're quite limited in what they can do, but the manager can then develop them and move them on. I have not seen one manager get Bouba Soumaré to work like he did on Friday night. I've not seen one manager be able to do that. I don't know how or why he did it, but Marty's manager. I've never seen 3 managers. I've not seen anybody get a performance like that out of Skip either. He had him working. I mean, Skip has a reputation for various things, of course, but I've never seen him work that hard as he did on Friday. And to get people like Yannick being vocal and, you know, taking some leadership role and putting players in place and calling players out when they're out of order. These are new things with existing players, and that is all down to the manager, and I think that's a very positive sign.
Kate, what's your thoughts on that? Because this is why man management is so important, right? In football, like you can have a player that hasn't worked under other managers, and you've got a new manager that comes in and puts his arm around the shoulder or finds ways to get it out of people. I remember, you know, I've watched loads of interviews on Fergie, right, with his time at Man United, and a lot of players talking about him and how he managed different players differently depending on what was needed. And so far, it seemed that maybe Marty is doing that.
Yeah, I think so. Marty, for me, just seems to have the ability, and perhaps Sir Alex did in his early tenure, where he just completely dials down the noise within the football club. It doesn't matter whether you're king of the castle, Jamie Vardy, or you're Harry Winks on a load of money. He'll just completely dial down the noise and make his own judgment of you. And the thing that's been wanting from Leicester for so long is culture. And the culture has been rotten for a long time. I don't know what the catalyst was. It was probably a multitude of things. But for me, Marty seems to understand that culture breeds behaviour, which then breeds standards. And you have to start that in that cycle. Otherwise, you're fucked anyway. And that we've not had that culture to lead into behaviour and standards for so long. Like, there's no one keeping, Harry Winks should not be able to get away with some of his behaviour. And he's not getting away with it. Okay, you wanted to behave like that, lad, you go ahead, but you won't be starting for me. Don't care who you are. And it's that kind of ruthless nature, that really tough decision making to say, do you know what, Harry Winks could come on here and win us the game, but he don't deserve it. Like, Booba's put in a really good shift all week, or Skip's worked his socks off in training. I know he's not quite at it, but there's a player there and I want to persevere. And that's what I think Marty has come in and just gone back to the basics, turned the noise down with some of this racket within the football club, and just started to generate an equal opportunity for everybody, as long as you have the right application. And that's that's important in life in general, but that's what I think Marty brings to the table. It's very simple, it's very black and white, and you're either in or you're not. And if you're not, then I'm not going to bow down to you just because of who you are. Like, Wout Fass is going to be a personality to manage. You can see that. And he might well be okay to manage it, which is why we've seen him drip fed into the squad. But, that's Marty all over for me. He's just very simple, very tactile, and very open and honest with the players. And you take it or leave it.
It's really interesting.
Alex Ferguson would have had that with the class of 92. Like, those class of 92 in the mid-90s, that have been like, God, you really want to play all of them in the same team today, when we've got, like a Dennis Irwin or whoever. You sure you want to play these guys? And he's like, yeah, they've earned it. In you go. And look what can happen.
It's interesting you mentioned about, like, with Harry Winks, you said there that he could just bring him on to help see out a game, whatever, but he's not doing it. And that's a good point, because, like, these players will have appearance fees as well, right? They'll make more money if they come off the bench in the 80th minute and things like that. So I think that's something, like, he didn't need to come on, so he's not brought him on. I think Marty would still, if we needed him, and we've seen it already, right? We've seen it this season with Wout Faes. We've brought Faes on to see out a game when it was needed. And I still think it would happen with Winks, but he's not making these changes for the sake of it, like a lot of managers tend to do sometimes, when you're winning 2-0, right? You make that change maybe to protect the player that's already on the pitch. So I rate that from Marty. And the Bilal stuff, Jack, all the things are suggested. There's no confirmed reports of this, but when you look at the situation and some of the rumours and stuff, it looks like from the outside that Marty just wanted Bilal gone, because it would have been bad to keep him around. That's how it feels now. It feels like it was dragging on. Leicester probably could have dug their heels in and kept him for the season, but Marty didn't want anything to do with him because he'd expressed his desire to leave.
Yeah, you don't want people like that at the football club. That's what we've learned a lot of. You look at Wesley Fofana, the things he was doing at the football club in that time. Well, that's when he was going out the door. That's when that noise appeared. No, Wesley Fofana were the same. We wanted to keep him at all costs, but then he sat in the stands. He did everything, pushed for his move. You don't need bad smells in this squad. He wants a squad that's happy, together, fights for each other, and is committed. And that's all he asked for. And if you're not that, and you think you can disrespect me in any way or form, and think, you know what, I choose when to play and when not to play, mate. Not being funny, mate. Just fuck off, basically, out the door. Go to Stuttgart, do whatever you're doing. We'll earn the money at the end of it. Thanks for coming, Bilal, but you ain't my type of man. So, we've got players who, you look at the academy side of things. You've got Monga, you've got Manny's man, Louis Page, who's come through as well, who's done a job. So he's got young players who he can bring through, can really do the job and make up the numbers. And this is what he really speaks highly about. He looks at the academy rather than going into a transfer window and thinking, do I really need that when I've got players who I can really trust from below the senior squad? Which I find it's astonishing that he's actually doing what he's doing. He walks the walk and talks the talk, as Marty Cifuentes, and may that continue.
Yeah, I did see as well, by the way, talking about the youngsters. Don't know if you guys saw this, because somebody was asking in the comments about Monga's injury. It was a clickbait title by Foxes of Leicester, whoever you are. But, although I can't talk about clickbait, so I'll take that back. But Paige and Monga could both miss 5 games in, is it October and November? No, November. Because they could get called up to the Under-18 World Cup squad, which is in Qatar. So those two could be gone. I'd expect, Manny, they probably will be gone. You don't think they'll go?
Well, Monga just got promoted.
Well, Manny thinks. I was going to say Manny thinks they'll be in the senior squad.
Monga should be in the Monga should be going out of the World Cup. That's what I think. He's been promoted to the Under-19s, Monga, so potentially he's now a grade above that level anyway. And with all due respect to the Under-18 World Cup, I think playing Championship football is probably going to do a bit more for your development. Playing pro-level football against, much more hardened opponents in a more competitive environment, I think is going to be useful. However, if the player himself wants to go, maybe you can have a word with a few of his young England colleagues. You know that have a word with Luca Williams.
Manny's going to be there, isn't he? Manny's going to rock up at this World Cup.
Just start signing some of these, start getting some pen to paper on some of these kids, having a little word to build a super unit. But no, look, in all seriousness, if that happens, then it's okay. We've got Mavididi, we've got Aaron Ramsey that can cover in an emergency. We've still got, don't forget, Bobby. We've got Bobby Cordova-Reid. We've got Ayew that can cover both wings in an emergency. So be it. And I'm guessing that some of the signings will obviously, the utility factor of some of the signings, they're not designated to one position. Aaron Ramsey can play in multiple roles. Jordan James can play in multiple roles. So I think that would have been part of their thinking. And just overall on Marty, do you know, as a fan channel, we used to get some abuse. Look how horrible they're being to Cooper. You know, initially after the initial positivity about Rude, that was wiped out pretty quickly, and the fans could see both times the direction of travel. We knew that this wasn't working. We knew it fairly early on. We could tell with team selection, with man management, with interviews. There was no unity in the squad. We were confused. We used to use words like identity. You know, now we look at Marty after 3-4 games. That feeling is not there anymore. We all feel positive. We all feel confident that this guy is clued up. This guy has a clear strategy. The players, the key part, the players seem to be buying into what he's saying. Every interview, he comes across extremely well. He's clearly trying a charm offensive with the fans, with his, learning the history of Leicester City, going down to the pub to have a drink. This guy has started off extremely well, and from our point of view, I don't think we could have asked for much more, to be honest.
I agree, Kate, by the way, because, of course, this is just football fans for you, but, there were people during at the start of last season who were saying, "Oh, you're judging Cooper too quickly," and me, I'll talk for myself, nobody else. But I was like, I don't care. I've seen enough. 2 games in, I don't want this fucking guy. To be fair, I saw enough before the first game, but now with Marty, Kate, I don't know. It just feels right. I don't know what it is. As Enzo did when he first came in, it feels right, and I just think that because you spoke about Kate about what did you say, levels, or can't remember what you said about the demands on the squad and the responsibility and all of that. And I think Enzo did as well. Enzo made some changes at the club because I remember reading that he basically said to the players before an away game, all the players had to. I can't remember what it was. They had to stay at the training ground and travel together or something, which wasn't done previously. Like sometimes previously with Leicester, you would get, if we were playing Casper lived in Manchester. If we were playing in Manchester, he would just travel from home. Whereas Enzo was like, no, we're traveling together from the training ground. And there were changes like that made. And it feels like Marty, again, just with the vibe that I'm getting from him, he feels like he's kind of going down that similar route. Although I think he's just less arrogant than Enzo Maresca as well.
Marty's just more emotionally intelligent than Enzo. Enzo's your tactician. He is one of those obsessives of the game that studies the actual game in and out. But I don't think as a human manager, I'm not sure he's there, but he makes up for it in the tactical side of the game. And he probably thinks that if I put all the players together the night before, that's one sort of ounce of the recipe into making us win tomorrow. Whereas Marty will be like, no, I need to make sure every individual player is happy first. I don't care where they're sleeping the night before, as long as they get the right amount of sleep and they get to wherever they need to be on time. I need to make sure my players are happy and have got everything they need. They don't need to be all together, because I bet most of the time when they were together the night before, most of them went to bed at 9 and run their computers till like 3 a.m, like Vardy. That isn't morale building, is it? That's just being on Fortnite or whatever he was playing. So yeah, I just feel Marty's got that emotional intelligence and he's just more tactile, which now we've got a lower quality squad than what Enzo inherited. That's going to be more important, you know, for players like Mavadidi. Having Marty put his arm around and spend time with him to try and understand exactly what makes him tick is more crucial than what Enzo had to do, because Enzo didn't need to do a lot of that. He inherited a very good squad for the championship and he didn't need to do a lot of that legwork, and the results started to kind of do that work for him and gain the camaraderie that happens when you're winning all the time. Whereas Marty's like, these people haven't scored half of last season. Their confidence is on the floor. I've got a lot of work to do and I need to figure out exactly what's going on. Like, would Enzo have pulled Fast to one side and said, mate, why are you cupping the fans? Talk to me. Explain what's going on with you, so I know how you react to things and I know how your mind works. So, you know, he's more of a tactile arm around the shoulder. And I said on Chris's channel the other week, I wonder if he's read the James Kerr book, Legacy, for any of those people that have read it. It's about the New Zealand All Blacks, and a study was done in the 80s when they were absolutely shit. And this guy realised that they implemented a no dickhead policy. That's what they called it, a no dickhead policy. They had amazing superstars, but they didn't play as a team. So they ended up getting rid of the dickheads and playing as a team. And then the 90s and 2000s, we saw what happened to the All Blacks. And I wonder if Marty's of a similar ilk.
Yeah, because Jack, I agree.
All Blacks tanked all 3 World Cups in the 90s. Just to let you know. No, but you're right though. They were a brilliant team.
Exactly.
Just wound you up. Go on.
I was just gonna say that I think Kate's right on the case that if Enzo was manager right now, I think Fast would be playing. I think Harry Winks would be playing. I think Bilal maybe would have stayed. And you know, I'm not saying that was a bad thing. It would probably get good. You know, it would still be successful. But I hear what Kate's saying, Jack, about how the no dickhead policy does seem to be a bit like not as such. I was going to say Nigel Pearson. He's nothing like Nigel Pearson, but just the way that Nigel Pearson tried to rebuild the club and tried to, you know, change the mentality at the club. I think Marty's doing that well.
Yeah, he's had to come in and change a lot of things with mentality, things that needed kicking out this football club for a start, and players that he felt just wasn't giving it. And, you know, he's had to do it in a short space of time, which this no dickhead policy is a fantastic way to go around it in football clubs, to be fair. If you're going to treat me like one, we'll see who the bigger dickhead is when I've booted you out that door. So, you know, it's good. You know, he wants this commitment, you know, people who's going to thrive for him. You look at, with Enzo, he had a good squad. You know, that squad should always win the championship. You know, your Ndidi's, your Fasties, Harry Winks. You know, it's a class above what we had in the championship with obviously Leeds' squad at the time, Southampton's. We had the best squad out of the 3. So, yeah, this time is a lot different. We've had to reset a lot of things. It's a project that he's sort of saying that it's not going to take a week, a month. It's going to take longer. So he's a committed manager, and, you know, he just wants the best for this club. And hopefully the club can back him in the long run to let him do what he wants to do. And I think it will turn out to be a great investment in the end.
And remember, Ruud van Nistelrooy, the club had to travel to the Netherlands to do the media for Ruud van Nistelrooy and interview and stuff, whereas Marty literally paid out of his own pocket to join Leicester City. So good goal money.
He was in his garden, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Like walking through the leaves and.
Yeah.
Do you know what it is? Why I'm supreme. You know, I have been confident that we are going to go up this season. I'm supremely confident that we're going to go up. And it was the same with Enzo. And it was like, on paper, we have the best squad. Like, we've been a yo-yo team, which is better than most of our opponents, if not all of our opponents. I think only Southampton have pretty much matched our trajectory. So we've always had more finances and been able to get a higher standard of of player anyway. Plus, when you throw in the facilities and the rest of it, we do have the best squad. We always have done. The only problem is can you get that squad motivated to play in the Championship? We saw, Enzo had to get rid of Victor. He didn't fancy it for a year. Booba didn't fancy it that time for a year. And when players don't fancy it, that's when you get worried. So if you remember the first week of Enzo training, that there were 6 players that were supposedly going to leave and said they didn't want to play in the Championship. But after 1 week of training with Enzo, they all changed their mind and said, actually, I want to buy into this project. I want to be here now because I love this coach and I believe I can develop as a footballer, and I'm more than happy to stay. If you've got a base level of higher quality that is now going to want to be there, that is willing to work and is willing to fight, those other metrics that other clubs could beat you on are now out the window. So the quality will shine over 46 games. We're definitely going up. And the same applies today. We do have a better base squad than everybody else. The only question mark is whether the players fancy it. But I saw on Friday night that the players fancied it, which means that they bought into Marty. And if they bought into Marty, then the same logic, the quality will shine and over 46 games will go up. The only difference obviously being is the points deduction potential this season.
Yeah.
But even with that, I think we're going. I'm supremely confident we're going up.
Yeah. Well, there we go. We will wait and see. Okay, I think we're going to end it there. Anyone got any nice plans for their Sundays? Anyone?
A nap like an old person. Yeah, love a nap. I don't
You
know how
are.
you don't nap. Napping is
You
amazing.
are quite
I love
old.
it.
You are quite old.
It's true. Although I don't look it though. I look younger than
Hey,
you.
you had your ears lowered, Manny. It looks better.
Had my ears lowered.
Yeah.
Luke said you've had a bad hair day.
Just had a haircut. So
I mean, you've had your ears lowered.
what's your ears lowered?
Oh my God. Seriously. When you have
I've
your ears
never
lowered,
heard
it just means you've had your hair taken up. Like,
Really?
it's just a saying.
Have I-
Google it.
Sorry, I only speak English. Apologies.
Kate, any plans?
Sunday lunch.
Nice.
Yeah.
What are you having for lunch today, Kate?
I don't know. I've got to
Are
order
you
it.
Are you a Sunday roast or actually be careful?
It's a very personal question, Manny.
I just realised as soon as I said it.
I don't know. I'm going out for it, so I don't know what I'm having yet. I'm not one of these people that looks at the menu before I go. I know a lot of people are like
Lies.
I'm not lying.
You
Sunday,
did
I was
last
think-
week or 2 weeks ago. You showed me it. You 2 weeks ago you did.
For what?
Oh wait, no. Oh, you had to pre-order it, didn't you? That's a bit different, I suppose.
Yeah, it's pre-order.
Yeah.
You've got to look at the menu if you pre-order.
Still, you looked to the menu. You looked to the menu before
It's
you went.
Sunday, surely Sunday roast. It's either
I'm going
roast,
to a place that
roast
does
lamb
a
or
bit of
roast beef.
everything, so I don't know yet. I don't know.
I like a vegetarian alternative to a Sunday roast. I like a
What?
mushroom and
A nut roast. Trust you to love a nut
no.
roast.
Wow.
Can't waste
Mu-
a Sunday lunch on a
Hold on.
vegetarian option, man. What's wrong with you?
mushroom and Stilton Wellington.
Oh yeah, good choice. And it's
Not
only
bad,
24 degrees today, so make the last of the sun, guys. I think it could be the last day of summer today.
What about you, Jack, mate? What are you doing? Any plans?
Get the Sunday roast out, it is on a Sunday.
Yes.
I was thinking they
you
announced their
cooking it,
replacement for.
Yeah, I'll cook it, yeah.
What we have
I was
it.
gonna-
Get my hands dirty, get a bit of gravy on there, you know how it is.
I just remember
you know-
as well.
you know what,
You used to be a chef, didn't you, Jack? If I remember right.
Yeah, I've cooked quite a bit in my time.
Yeah.
I studied business studies, studied catering. I've got a bit of experience in both. So,
Can't
yeah,
you tell with the man's
Hey,
food
what's-
reviews? The man's
What's
an
the meat of
expert.
choice today?
you what?
What's the meat of choice today?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I like a bit of beef, a bit of gammon. I'm not quite torn upon the turkey sort of situation for Christmas. To be fair, 'cause it's a bit of a dry meat, isn't it? I don't know. That's a bit of a dry humour, but
I've got pork today. I've got pork.
Ooh.
bit of apple sauce on it, maybe a bit of
Look
mince.
at him doing this. I got pork today.
Pork.
You can go down the gym at 5 in the morning now.
In the shoulder, yeah?
Just a few layers of flab left.
Yeah,
to get
but
rid of.
what's better? What's better than pork crackling. I love pork crackling.
Oh.
Pork crackling.
Crackling's nice for a bit of fattening for my weights like me.
I went to this festival a couple of weeks ago and they did hog roast pork rolls, right? And you could pay an extra £1 or whatever to have crackling. So obviously I paid the crackling. The devastation on my face when this guy went into a bag of pork scratchings and put pork scratchings on the side of my rolls.
Oh, what? That's shocking.
That's false advertising. Absolutely.
That's shocking. That's shocking.
Awful.
Okay, well, I hope you all have a nice bit of meat today, nice slab of meat.
No time for lunch. We've got the Grand Prix on.
What are you doing, Manny? Just propping up the sport watching like usual?
Well, I was going to say 11 o'clock after, which is not too long away, 25 minutes, as Leicester ladies are playing against Man United.
United,
so, look,
give that a watch.
Give that a watch for sure. Definitely give that a watch. And then we got the Grand Prix. Then a little nap. Wake up. NFL. All night. They're probably about 7-8 hours of NFL. My wife is going to love me today. Well, she probably will, since I won't be bugging her.
She doesn't love you any day, she's told me.
That's really mean. That's really mean. Look, I think you're just trying to divide and conquer here, Kate. Is that what it is?
I've already conquered. I don't need to divide.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
I'll tell the wife she's got some competition then.
Oh, here we go. Here we bloody go. Here we go.
She's blushing. Look, I got a red.
And on that note,
yeah, that's the end. That's
enjoy your Sunday, everybody.
Absolutely. We'll be back tomorrow.
Tomorrow night for the call-in shows back?
Yeah, for the first call-in show in 3 weeks. So we'll be back tomorrow for the call-in show. So join us for that at 7 p.m. And yeah, that's pretty much it. All the best, everybody. See you later. Take care. Big shout out to the sponsors as well. Match Bingo. All the best. 200 grand. Massive thank you to today's sponsor, Match Bingo. Over 200 grand has been paid out to players so far by taking sports betting, football and bingo and combining them into one amazing app. Make sure to get your bingo card for any Leicester City game in the upcoming season. Click that link in the description or via the QR code on screen.